Hey there everybody, how you doing? I am Francis and welcome back to Corpse Party Book of Shadows. Last episode, Mayu was ripped apart by Sachiko and the other ghost children and we have unlocked a new chapter. Chapter 3, Encounter. Hopefully we'll be playing as somebody who doesn't die because I don't know if my heart can take it again to try to protect somebody knowing very well how it's going to end for them. So let's just go into Encounter and let's see how this is going to go. Let's see, Tenjin 5, Okay, we're playing as Satoshi, so he doesn't die, so I'm okay with this. Is that, 23? Or is it 33? What are you talking about? Mr. Yamazaki's handwriting is atrocious. It can't be as bad as mine. Oh, is this a flashback before we got sent to Heavenly Host? Oh, okay, so I guess it's still up in the air who we could be playing as. This really wasn't my day. I knocked over my alarm clock this morning, and of course, it started working. Oh, god damn it. The very last pork sandwich sold out right before my eyes during lunch. You gotta hate it when that happens. And I was roped into a favor when I happened upon my homeroom teacher, Mr. Yamazaki, long after the school day had ended. So now, like it or not, I was on my way to deliver some notes to Miss Yoi, our homeroom TA, who was out sick with a cold. Oh, that's sad. I have to make sure I apologize to Yuka later. I know how disappointed she'll be that I'm missing from shopping date. Tenjin 523, number 11. Found it! As long as this doesn't actually read 633, number 77 anyway. Well, let's just hope this is the right place. I stopped and compared the memo in my hand with the apartment building in front of me. It was 2 stories tall and looked a little on the shabby side. Probably about 20 years old. It didn't seem very solid, nor was it particularly stylish or chic. It was a completely unremarkable structure in every way. Well, we know Miss Joy doesn't live in a very impressive environment, so I'm thinking you're at the right place, Satoshi. Apartment 207. Or is that 201? I was really getting fed up with this handwriting, and from a teacher no less. Hey, just because you're a teacher doesn't mean you have pretty handwriting. In any case, it seems certain the apartment was on the 2nd floor, so I trudged up the startling narrow steep stairs. The metal staircase was thoroughly blotched with patches of rust. Oh boy. Why would someone live in such a rundown apartment building? They have no choice, this is all they could afford? There's many reasons! Are teachers' salaries really that low? I felt a little sorry for her, but in a way, this place kind of fit her personality. I don't know if that's like an insult or a compliment. With that thought in mind, I turned my attention toward apartment 201. Here we are, 201. Yeah, this doesn't look like Miss Yoi's place. The door plate for the room nearest the stairs had a name I didn't recognize scribbled on it. Guess that means we try door number 2. Passing room 201, I continued down the narrow walkway toward the end. Wandering alone around an apartment building I'd never been to before made me feel kind of nervous. It wasn't like I was doing anything wrong, but my back still tensed up as I maneuvered around piled up drawers, plastic toys, and bundles of newspaper. And then finally, I arrived at the last door. 207. Bingo! This was it. I breathed a sigh of relief. The door plate for apartment 207 read Shishido, and that is Miss Joy's name, so we did it! We found her! Also, I would like to know what kind of apartment building this is, because I live in an apartment myself, and there's no door plate telling you who lives in, you know, which unit. For an adult's handwriting especially, the letters were rounded and overly cutesy. This was Miss Joy's place, alright. Well, yeah, do we know any other Shishidos? What's this? I leaned in to read something written in small script on the corner of the door plate. Beware of cat? Okay. I never heard of a beware of cat warning before. Like, usually it's, like, beware of dog, but cat? Shouldn't that be beware of dog? Yeah, that's what I said. That's Miss Joy for you. So how exactly does one beware a house cat? Is it even possible for a house cat to be threatening? None that I know, but maybe. But none that I've known, thankfully. At any rate, I confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt that this was Miss Yoi's place. So my errand was nearing its end. Well, you confirmed that it's her place when you saw that the door plate said Shishido. What was Mr. Yamazaki thinking anyway? It's important information to get to her. Doesn't matter if she's sick. I understand taking handouts to sick classmates, but delivering class notes to the home of an absent teacher? Yeah, that is kind of weird. Like, I think everybody has been in this situation, where the teacher's home sick and you get a substitute teacher. You never really have to deliver class notes to the home of the teacher, Like, usually the substitute just leaves a note and the teacher reads it the next day. That just seems weird. This isn't something a student should be doing. No, it's not. This really is out of place. He said he was busy with meetings, though, and really needed one of his students to help him out. But was it really okay to entrust a school student with confidential class notes? Well, that's a lot of trust they're putting into you, Satoshi. Wouldn't it be kind of a problem if I were to, read these? Because I'm tempted. My mind kept drifting from one question to another, and I become acutely aware of the inherent value of these notes I held in my bag. But tempting as it was, I just couldn't bring myself to look at them. Mr. Yamazaki put his faith in me after all. I can't betray that trust. And I was stronger than that. I couldn't let this get the best of me. No way! Not happening. At any rate, I was here. I should have just been able to drop off the notes and be on my way. Putting all my doubts and misgivings aside, I rang the doorbell. And then I waited. And waited. And waited some more. But there was no answer. Huh? It did ring, didn't it? Miss Yoi? I rang the bell again, and also tried calling her out. But there was still no response. What should I do? Maybe she's sleeping. I don't want to wake her, but I am a little concerned. When we heard that Miss Yoi was staying home sick today, we were all pretty disappointed. That's why part of me was actually a little happy that I was asked to run these over to her. I figured I'd be able to check in, see how she was doing, and let everyone at school know that she was feeling better. Never occurred to me that I might not even be able to see her though. Miss Yoi? Miss Yoi? Nothing. Miss Yoi, hello? She's probably sleeping or out at her doctor's or something, but what if she were hurt? I tried opening the mail slot and peeking in. I thought maybe I could get a glimpse of the room inside. Miss Yoi? It felt kind of wrong peeking into someone's house without their permission. Well, I have an alternative since Miss Yoi seems to not be answering. Just slip the notes in through the mail slot. That way you've accomplished your obligation of delivering the notes, Whether she received them or not is a different question though, since she's not there. But I was legitimately worried about Miss Joy's health, so my conscience was clear on this one. Oh, hi. Well, there's the cat we were told to be aware of. You're adorable. Oh, the cat. A well-groomed cat was facing the door and staring back at me. With its head tilted slightly to the side, it let out an adorable meow. Ah. This must be the cat I was instructed to beware. It doesn't look that threatening. And since Miss Yoi was always going on and on about her little buddy, I was pretty sure I remembered his name. You're Morit, right? Or no, it's Monet, I think. I don't know. Yeah, Monet. What a pretty kitty you are, Monet. Miss Joy talked about her cat a lot in class, so pretty much the whole school had heard of him. And we get to see him. She even had some tins of cat food hidden on a shelf in the classroom. Probably because she bought too much and had no room for them in her apartment. Here, kitty kitty, Monet. Monet, is Miss Joy home? If she's home, would you mind waking her up for me? That's a good kitty. Huh. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. My shoulders sank. I felt defeated. What the hell was I doing? I closed the mail slot and stood back up. Damn! I sure hope Miss Joy's alright. She's probably just out right now or something. Which would mean the door's locked, I'm sure. Lost in this speculation, I placed my hand on the doorknob. Oh, are you gonna try and go in? And with a quick twist, I turned it and pushed on the door. Opening it easily. Okay, well, it wasn't locked. Huh? It wasn't locked at all. Crap, that's not good. I can't let Monica get out. Monica's so adorable. I love Monica. Your master is pretty careless, huh? Leaving a door unlocked like that. Monica's whiskers twitched as I called out to him from the entranceway. What's that you say? She is? Really? You and I aren't on the same page, Monet. Here I was talking to a cat. Was this what I'd become? What's wrong with talking to a cat? Back when I had my cat, talk to him all the time. Nothing weird about that. What should I do? I was feeling pretty uneasy. Not only had I peeped into someone's home, I walked in without a second thought. Okay, I have another option then. Leave the notes on the table and get the hell out. Moreover, this is where Miss Joy lived. Alone. In our words, a woman's apartment. No matter how many times I remind myself that I was here on an errand, I couldn't help feeling that I not only crossed the line, but leaped over. Yeah, you kinda did. It's not too late to, turn back and get out. Just leave the papers on the table and get out. Miss Joy? I tried calling her name one last time, but as expected, there was no answer. So, what now? Leave the notes and get the hell out! How is this a question? I was trying hard to avoid being too nosy, but my eyes inevitably began surveying the room. The apartment entrance led out immediately into the kitchen, and beyond that there was a sliding door to some other room. I could see light through the gaps. I strained my ears, but there was nothing to hear. No signs of life whatsoever. Miss Joy really must have gone out. One more time, I tried calling out to her one more time, just to put my concerns at ease. I felt like I'd seem more suspicious if I stayed silent. Miss Joy, it's Miss Cheetah. Still nothing. Maybe she was asleep on the other side of that door. Let's have a little look-see then. Wait. You're crossing a line, man. Seriously, just leave the notes that you came here for and just leave. Shaking my head furiously, I cast out that sudden impulse. Yeah, don't invade her privacy more than you already have, mate. That was a terrible idea, pure and simple. Entering the apartment unannounced was bad enough, but walking all the way in, opening that sliding door and peeking inside, that was just too much. Man, if Miss Joy happened to come home and find me standing here, I'd be in pretty hot water, huh? Yeah, you would. Not too late to get out, man. No, scratch that. I'd be in plentiful, dense, scalding water. Monet mewed as if in agreement. Panicking, I once again surveyed my surroundings. I almost felt like there were eyes on me, staring with disdain. But of course, nobody was there. Well, Monet's probably judging you. Oh, right. I can just leave a note. Wondering why I didn't think of this sooner, I dug into my bag for some paper and a pen. Mr. Yamazaki asked me to come by. That should be enough, right? I'll just use some notebook paper. Yeah, and put that note on top of the notes that Yamazaki wanted you to give to her. Put them on the table, put the note on top of the paper, and then just leave. Let's see, Miss Yoi. Crouching in a doorway, I ran my pen across the page. I brought crash notes at Mr. Yamazaki's behest. Everyone has been worried about you. Sorry about barging in. Please don't forget to lock your door from now on. As I was writing the note, I sensed a presence in front of me. Until just a moment ago, this house had no signs of human life in it, but now, I could feel someone standing directly ahead. Standing and looking down at me. Huh? Fidgeting nervously, I put down my pen, raised my head slowly, and saw a white, slender ankle. Slenderman? Or is it Miss Yoi? Ah! Yeah, it's Miss Yoi. Shocked, Miss Yoi, you want to button up your shirt. Just saying. Shocked, I shot my head up and there standing before me was Miss Yoi. Miss Yoi? She was looking right at me, but she seemed decidedly out of sorts. Her hair looked disheveled, her gaze was unsteady, and her pajamas were in complete disarray. She was like a completely different person from the usual Kent educator we come to know and love. Miss Yoi, I'm so sorry to have entered your apartment without permission. Here. I was told to give these to you. I stood up frantically and held out the note I'd been writing. But... Huh? Miss Yoi was just standing there, stupefied with a completely vacant expression on her face. This is concerning. Miss Yoi? I called out to her as gently as I could. But... no response. She was really dazed. She seemed almost like a ghost. Miss Yoi, what happened to you? I had a sudden uneasy feeling. Worried, I walked up to Miss Yoi, grabbed her shoulders, and tried to snap her out of it by shaking her. But instead... Ah! This just seemed to make her cough. Uh-oh. Hey, Miss Yoi? These were reproductive coughs, and spit was shooting out of Miss Yoi's mouth with each one. I frantically tried to shield my face from the spray, but my reaction time just wasn't quick enough. I put a hand on her cheek and found it thick with a slimy film of saliva. Are you okay, Miss Yoi? Does she sound like she's okay? Yeah, seriously, call her a doctor. She could die like right here. Miss Yoi hobbled back a little and fell to her knees with a thud. She had completely sprawled out in the hallway, moaning and groaning the whole time. Miss Yoi? Wiping the splatterings from my own face, I leaned over and took a better look at hers. It was bright red. Strained breathing, a stuffy nose, and a visibly high fever on top of it all. She was sick as could be. I'm cold. Cold? But you're dripping with sweat. It's called being sick. It's cold. I thought maybe her sweat was cooling her down, but then realized how these silver pajamas certainly weren't doing her any favors. With heart pounding a mile a minute and face red as a traffic light, I set about buttoning her up. Miss Joy, you know who this is, right? It's Miss Shida from school. If you're cold, you need to sleep under your covers. Otherwise, you won't get any better. She absent-mindedly extended her shaking arms like a zombie, slowly reopening her eyes and looked up at me. It was the gaze of a severely fevered mind. Miss Yoi? Tsukasa? No, Satoshi. What? Uh-oh! Oh, I don't like where this is going. She's obviously got a fever mind and thinks Satoshi is this other person who I'm guessing is her long-lost boyfriend or something like that. Oh, this is not gonna be well. Ah! Tsukasa. Tsukasa! Miss Joy was clinging to me tightly. I couldn't move. I was frozen in shock and began to weep. You come for me, Tsukasa. Who's Tsukasa? What a lovely surprise. I'm so glad you're here. Miss Joy, wait, you got the wrong person. It seemed like I wasn't getting through to her at all. And the sensation of her chest as she held me was making it virtually impossible to fight her grip. Uh-oh. I was utterly powerless against this opponent. Uh-oh. I never realized before just how soft a woman's chest really was. Oh. Satoshi, get your mind off of her chest and get your mind back to, clearing her head. God, am I that weak-willed? I had to remind myself that Miss Joy had me confused with someone else. Yeah! Get your mind off her chest and get your mind back to the mission at hand. Mustering all the strength I could, I gripped her arms and tried to pry her off of me. But she was a lot stronger than I'd anticipated and wouldn't let me get away. I was so scared, Tsukasa. I was so scared. Scared? I never thought you'd actually come. Flustered yelp. How do I do a flustered yelp? As she squeezed me tightly, I felt as though my upper body might collapse under the pressure of her softest parts. I was blushing uncontrollably. Satoshi... Miss Joy, please, let go. No, I won't. Come on, Miss Joy. Let go. I struggled to wriggle free, but Miss Joy only grabbed me tighter. Yeah, she's not letting you go, buddy. Our bodies were getting more and more intertwined. Oh, no. And every time I squirmed, Miss Joy would just pull me in even closer. Tsukasa... Ah! As her chest rose and fell erratically, droplets of sweat slid down into her cleavage. Satoshi, get your mind off of her chest, get your mind off her cleavage. She's obviously confused, fever-headed, and thinks you're somebody else. Don't you dare take advantage of her in this state. I couldn't feel the heat of her fever radiating off of her steady approaching face, as well as the shoulders I'd grabbed in an effort to push away. Stay here with me, Tsukasa, please. I'm telling you, you've got the wrong person. I'm not Tsukasa. Questionings were swirling around in my head. Why was Miss Joy crying? And who was this Tsukasa person? I think the old boyfriend that she told Ayumi about in one of the extra chapters. See, aren't you glad we played the extra chapters? They're coming into play during the Book of Shadows. It's a good thing we played those. But I was most concerned for the state of her pajamas, which had become even more disturbed during our struggle. Miss Joy, your pajamas, your pants. They're sliding down, oh boy. Tsukasa, you're so warm. Miss Joy, please. Realizing that not a single word was getting through to her, I sighed, reciting me. I'd taken care of Yuka any number of times when she caught a cold and drawn a fever, but I don't recall it ever getting this bad. Well, Yuka's a child. Miss Joy was usually calm, collected, and rational. Who would have ever imagined that a fever could leave her so thoroughly, disconvoluted? Miss Joy, seriously, pull yourself together. I put more strength into my resistance, and finally, her arms relaxed just the tiniest bit. But her expression changed drastically. No, please. Miss Joy? I'm Satoshi Mishida, not this Tsu. Please don't go, please. Miss Joy was acting like a spoiled child. Slipping out of the shoes I'd still be wearing, I again drew close to her sprawled out form. There was no way I could just leave her here like this. I sure hope none of this seems too sketchy after your fever breaks. Miss Joy let out a groan, perhaps in response to my quiet murmurings. At my wit's end, I grabbed hold of her and did my best to carry her into the back room. Gently wheeling her over to her unfurled futon, I then carefully laid her down, making sure I didn't drop her in the process. Then there was the matter of rebuttoning those pesky pajamas again. I hesitantly pulled up her pajama buttons and pushed away the stray hairs that were plastered to her brow and with sweat. I done my best to avoid seeing anything I shouldn't, but I am a guy, so my heart was pounding the whole time. No self-control, huh? Miss Joy's pajamas were soaked through with sweat. She really might have been better off with a change of clothes altogether. But no, that would have been going way too far. Wish I could find a towel or something so I could at least wipe some of that moisture away. Nothing a convenience store bag carelessly tossed to the floor. I glanced inside. Hey, she already bought cold packs. Why wasn't she using them? Jeez. Miss Joy, this might be a little cold, but bear with me, okay? Alright, I think that'll help. I placed one of the compresses on her forehead and pulled the covers over her. Miss Joy appeared almost instantly relieved. She exhaled contentedly, and her breathing became more relaxed. Finally, she was asleep. There we go. Huh? Even in sleep, Miss Joy seemed to be suffering. Oh, Monet! Were you worried about your master? Aw. What a good cat. You might want to check Monet's food just to make sure he's fed. I'm kind of concerned about the cat now. I don't blame you. When Mr. Yamazaki said she was sick, I had no idea it would be this bad. Monet had coiled up on my legs without me noticing. I began absentmindedly speaking to him. He mewed in response, and our conversation ended there, as my gaze was still fixed squarely on Miss Joy. So, what do I do now? Miss Joy? Are you okay to be alone right now? She wasn't in any condition to respond. But, Miss Joy... Miss Joy's hand was slipped out from under the futon and was gently grasping my pant leg. Hey! Her grip was much weaker than before, but I knew I'd probably regret it if I went home now. Miss Joy just seemed really lonely. Well, guess I'll settle in then. Without disturbing Miss Joy's hold on me, I took a seat beside her. For the time being, I figured I'd watch over her and make sure her condition didn't worsen. Occasionally, Miss Joy's breathing would become ragged and she'd furrow her brow. She was in a pretty bad way. Poor thing. Wasn't there anything else I could do? I glanced quietly down the hallway. I noticed when I carried Miss Joy here that the kitchen near the entrance was perfectly neat and tidy. There wasn't any indication it had been used that day at all. I wonder if she's eaten anything. Probably not if the kitchen is that tidy. Monet's gaze shifted suddenly. I followed it and saw pet bowls laid out on the corner of the room. One dish was filled to the brim with water, but the other was piled high with dry cat food. Okay, so at least the cat's been fed. I see someone's eating well around here, huh? Even deliriously with fever, she's still taking real good care of you. What a good cat owner Miss Joy is. But that's not good, Miss Joy. You should be thinking about your own meals first. I shook my head at the whole situation, then glanced down at Monet, who was tilting his head as if trying to understand me. I broke into a wry smile. Then I pulled out the cold packs. I did notice some cheap convenience store food in a bag as well. I guess that was going to be her food for today. Not exactly the best stuff to eat when you're sick, but we gotta work with what we got, you know. There's rice and eggs at least. Maybe I'll make egg porridge or something like that. Miss Joy, may I borrow your kitchen? Her face was bright red with her half-pained, half-contented noises, providing me with no clear-cut answer to my question. Don't think I'm going to get much out of her. How about you, Monet? Do I have your permission to use the kitchen? I'll take that as a yes. Excellent, thank you. Monet's cries helped assure my guilt over entering a woman's apartment and borrowing her kitchen. Not that I had any reason to feel guilty. I don't think so anyways. I mean, circumstances were what they were, right? Still, I had this nagging sense that I should have somehow felt bad about what I was doing. Excuse me, please, Miss Yoi. I'm going to need to get up. No. One by one, I gently peeled off each of the fingers latched onto my pant leg. The expression of her face changed as I was doing so, from contented rest to mild annoyance. But there was nothing to indicate that she might wake up. Alright then, let's see what we can do, shall we? As I stood up, Mana mewed happily and began tagging along at my heels. Mana's really grown attached. Achoo! And Miss Joy, now resting by herself in the bedroom, let out a sudden sneeze. Oh boy. I'm worried about Miss Joy. Oh, now it's just a prologue! Episode 3 encounter. That was a long prologue. We've been going for 40 minutes. And now we're back in class. Miss Joy is still sick apparently, but I'm going to end this episode here, alright? So thank you everybody for joining me in coming back to Corpse Party Book of Shadows. Hope you guys are enjoying this, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me. Have a nice day. Bye, everybody.